Are you frustrated trying to buy certain Seiko watches only to discover they're sold out everywhere with waiting lists and gray market premiums exploding? The Seiko market in 2026 has experienced unprecedented demand spikes, with certain models becoming genuinely difficult to find at retail, as collectors, enthusiasts, and smart buyers recognize exceptional value before prices inevitably rise. Whether you're a collector hunting the hottest Seikos before they become unobtainable, an investor recognizing which models will appreciate, a buyer wanting to understand which watches are worth the hype, or simply curious why certain Seikos suddenly disappeared from shelves, understanding demand dynamics helps you make informed decisions. In this comprehensive market analysis, we're ranking the 10 Seiko watches experiencing explosive demand in 2026 based on availability, gray market premiums, and market trends. But wait until you see our number one pick. It's absolutely impossible to find at retail. Number 10. Seiko Presage Style 60s Sari 125, Growing Retro Appreciation. The Seiko Presage Style 60s SARE 125 starts our ranking, experiencing steady demand growth as retro aesthetics gain mainstream appreciation. This vintage-inspired dress watch demonstrates that nostalgic design resonates with contemporary buyers. What's driving SARE 125 demand is the gorgeous champagne dial that photographs beautifully driving social media visibility and desire. The vintage-appropriate 40.5mm proportions appeal to collectors tired of oversized modern watches, creating natural demand. The box sapphire crystal and retro styling create authentic 1960s character that vintage watch enthusiasts genuinely appreciate. The reasonable pricing around $400 makes retro aesthetics accessible, driving volume sales depleting inventory. Current market shows sporadic availability, with popular configurations selling out within days of restocking. Gray market premiums remain modest at 10-20% over retail, but rising as awareness grows. Demand drivers include vintage watch trend, social media exposure, and value proposition relative to actual vintage pieces costing significantly more. Number 9. Seiko King Samurai SRPE Series, Sapphire Upgrade Appeal. Coming in at number 9 is the Seiko King Samurai SRPE Series, experiencing strong demand as buyers recognize sapphire crystal value. This angular sports watch demonstrates that specification upgrades drive purchasing decisions. What's driving King Samurai demand is the sapphire crystal at mid-range pricing where competitors still use inferior mineral glass. The distinctive angular design creates character that generic round sports watches lack, appealing to buyers wanting uniqueness. The solid bracelet with quality finishing provides premium feel, justifying the pricing and driving perceived value. The various colorways, including blue, black, and limited editions, provide options, creating sustained demand across variants. Current market shows good availability for standard models, but limited editions sell out quickly, driving secondary market activity. Gray market premiums vary by color, with popular variants commanding 15-25% over retail. Demand drivers include sapphire crystal upgrade, distinctive design, and strong value proposition in mid-range sports watch segment. Number 8. Seiko Prospex Baby Turtle SRPC39 Compact Diver Shortage. The Seiko Prospex Baby Turtle SRPC39 secures the 8th spot, experiencing demand surge as buyers discover perfect sizing. This compact diver demonstrates that proper proportions create sustained interest. What's driving Baby Turtle demand is the 42mm case solving sizing issues that prevent many from enjoying regular turtle's character. The shorter lug-to-lug measurement makes this suitable for smaller wrists, creating demand from previously excluded buyers. The patterned dial with sunburst finish creates visual interest, driving aesthetic appreciation and collector interest. The relatively limited production compared to standard turtle creates natural scarcity, amplifying demand pressures. Current market shows inconsistent availability, with long periods of out-of-stock status at major retailers. Gray market premiums have risen to 20-30% over retail as buyers grow impatient waiting for restocks. Demand drivers include perfect sizing for smaller wrists, distinctive turtle character, and growing awareness among collectors seeking properly sized vintage-inspired divers. Number 7. Seiko Alpinist SPB 121 Field Watch Renaissance. Taking the 7th position is the Seiko Alpinist SPB 121, experiencing renewed demand surge as field watches gain popularity. This legendary design demonstrates that certain classics transcend temporary trends through genuine utility. What's driving Alpinist demand is the growing field watch appreciation as collectors move beyond dive watches and chronographs. The distinctive cathedral hands create instantly recognizable character that generic field watches completely lack. The internal compass bezel provides genuine functionality, appealing to outdoor enthusiasts and tool watch collectors. The 6R35 movement with 70-hour power reserve provides weekend-proof reliability, driving practical appeal. Current market shows sporadic availability, with green dial variant particularly difficult to find consistently. Gray market premiums have climbed to 15–25% over retail, with limited editions commanding even higher premiums. Demand drivers include field watch trend, distinctive design, compass functionality, and strong collector following from previous Alpinist generations. Number 6. Seiko Prospex SPB 143 62 MAS Heritage Diver Demand. The Seiko Prospex SPB 143 earns the 6th spot, experiencing explosive demand as collectors recognize perfect heritage diver execution. This modern classic demonstrates that faithful vintage reissues with proper sizing create sustained interest. What's driving SPB 143 demand is the perfect 40.5 meters case with slim profile, creating ideal vintage diver proportions. The faithful 62 MAS design recreation appeals to collectors wanting vintage aesthetics with modern reliability. The 6R35 movement with 70-hour power reserve provides practical advantages over actual vintage watches. The box sapphire crystal balances vintage character with modern durability, creating best of both worlds. Current market shows limited availability, with consistent sellouts at authorized dealers within days of restocking. Gray market premiums have risen to 25–35% over retail, as frustrated buyers pay premiums for immediate delivery. Demand drivers include perfect sizing, heritage design authenticity, modern reliability, and growing recognition as ultimate vintage-inspired diver under $1,500. Number 5. Seiko Presage Enamel SPB 383 Artisanal Craftsmanship Appeal. Coming in at number 5 is the Seiko Presage Enamel SPB 383, experiencing strong demand as buyers appreciate traditional craftsmanship. This artistic timepiece demonstrates that genuine enamel dials create collector desire. What's driving enamel Presage demand is the genuine fired enamel dial with luminous depth that collectors increasingly appreciate. The limited availability due to labor-intensive production creates natural scarcity, driving competitive purchasing behavior. The reasonable pricing around $1,400 makes traditional enamel craftsmanship accessible compared to Swiss alternatives costing $5,000–$10,000. The growing appreciation for artisanal watchmaking drives sustained interest from collectors valuing craftsmanship over brand prestige. Current market shows very limited availability, with production constraints preventing rapid restocking cycles. Gray market premiums have climbed to 30–40% over retail as collectors compete for limited production. Demand drivers include genuine enamel dial rarity, traditional craftsmanship appreciation, and exceptional value relative to Swiss enamel watches, creating obvious collector appeal. Number 4. Seiko Series 8 NB6010 Zaratsu Polishing Discovery. The Seiko Series 8 NB6010 takes the 4th position, experiencing demand explosion as word spreads about Zaratsu finishing quality. This exceptional timepiece demonstrates that finishing quality drives collector demand. What's driving Series 8 demand is the stunning Zaratsu polishing, rivaling Grand Seiko at fraction of typical pricing. The gorgeous dial work and overall finishing approaching luxury level create strong value proposition. The growing awareness through social media and watch forums drives new buyers discovering this hidden gem. The $1,500 pricing delivers finishing that Grand Seiko charges $4,000–$6,000 for, creating obvious arbitrage opportunity. Current market shows increasingly difficult availability as demand outpaces production capacity. Gray market premiums have jumped to 35–45% over retail as collectors recognize undervaluation. Demand drivers include exceptional Zaratsu finishing, growing social media exposure, strong value relative to Grand Seiko, and limited production quantities, creating genuine scarcity. Number 3. Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged GMT SPB 221 Premium GMT Shortage. The Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged GMT SPB 221 secures the 3rd spot, experiencing severe demand pressure as collectors recognize best value GMT. This refined GMT demonstrates that combining Zaratsu finishing with GMT complication creates perfect storm. What's driving SPB 221 demand is the Zaratsu-inspired polishing, creating luxury finishing at mid-range pricing. The true GMT complication at $1,600 provides functionality that Swiss brands charge $5,000–$8,000 for delivering. The textured dial with exceptional finishing creates visual beauty, requiring in-person viewing to appreciate fully. The overall package delivers Grand Seiko-level finishing with GMT functionality, creating unprecedented value proposition. Current market shows extremely limited availability with immediate sellouts at authorized dealers. Gray market premiums have exploded to 50-70% over retail, as frustrated buyers pay significant premiums. Demand drivers include exceptional finishing quality, true GMT complication, best value GMT proposition, and growing recognition as underpriced relative to Swiss alternatives. Number 2. Seiko Prospex LX SNR 045 Spring Drive Shortage. Taking the runner-up position is the Seiko Prospex LX SNR 045 experiencing demand surge as collectors discover spring drive value. This technological masterpiece demonstrates that revolutionary movements drive collector interest. What's driving LX SNR 045 demand is the spring drive technology at price point, making innovation genuinely accessible. The full titanium construction with DLC coating provides premium materials, justifying elevated pricing. The Zaratsu polishing creates luxury finishing rivaling much more expensive Grand Seiko models. The 5,000 pricing delivers spring drive innovation that represents exceptional value in premium segment. Current market shows very limited production with authorized dealers having extended waiting lists. Gray market premiums have climbed to 40-60% over retail as collectors compete for limited availability. Demand drivers include revolutionary spring drive technology, titanium construction, Zaratsu finishing, and best value spring drive proposition, creating strong collector interest in genuinely innovative horology. Number 1. Seiko 5 GMT SSK 03 Sprite. Absolutely impossible. The phenomenon. Finally, here it is. The number 1 Seiko experiencing the most insane demand, making it absolutely impossible to find at retail. The Seiko 5 GMT Sprite SSK 03. This isn't just high demand. It's a complete market phenomenon where watches sell out within literal minutes of authorized dealer restocking, while gray market prices have tripled retail, creating the hottest Seiko release in modern history, proving that affordable true GMT with eye-catching colorway creates perfect storm of hype, genuine utility, and value proposition that collectors cannot resist, making this the most sought-after Seiko watch in 2026. The Seiko 5 GMT Sprite SSK 003 features the stunning green and yellow bezel colorway inspired by popular soda, creating instantly viral aesthetic. What makes this watch absolutely impossible to find is the perfect combination of true GMT at $495, eye-catching design, and massive social media amplification, creating unprecedented demand. The true GMT complication at sub-500 pricing provides functionality that Swiss brands charge thousands for, making value proposition undeniable. The 39mm case provides perfect proportions for daily wear, appealing to broad audience beyond just watch enthusiasts. The green sunburst dial with matching bezel creates cohesive, attractive design that photographs beautifully, driving social media virality.